So students, will continue CET or NEET part of biology for the chapter reproduction in organisms, first chapter. In last class we were discussing about asexual method of reproduction. This is CET or NEET. Biology. Okay, in last class we have already discussed about types of asexual method. We didn't finish all the methods. Some of the methods we have to discuss. If you see the textbook, all the methods will not be there because we are discussing for NEET. So slightly related to the topics, slightly beyond the textbook also we have to learn, because based on the type of the questions what they ask for NEET and CET. Okay, so we have already discussed about fission, regeneration, fragmentation, sporulation, budding. We will today discuss about two more methods of asexual reproduction, that is gamma or gemme. It is a asexual bud. Asexual bud produced on a cup-like structure. That cup-like structure is called gamma cups. Gamma cups, you know, these are the cup-like structures produced, okay, in Marchantia. This is small cup-like structures will be produced on Marchantia. That is, Marchantia is a plant which belongs to bryophytes. Name of the plant is Marchantia, which grows in a cold climate like Ooty and Kodaikanal. You find these plants. Okay, so Marchantia belongs to bryophytes. Bryophyta. Bryo means both, you know, amphi, both. It is like amphibians of plant kingdom, it is called. Amphibian means, you know, like frogs belong to class amphibia. They live both in water and on land. Okay, so they can live on land and they live in water also. So like that, here bryophyte means, bryo means both. Plants live on land, but for their sexual reproduction they need water. So you know this, you have learned in 9th standard. Anyway, first year in detail you have learned this, so I don't have to tell you much about this. Chalk. Okay. So cup-like structure, gamma cup, you know this, asexual bud produced. Okay, in case of bryophytes. In bryophytes there are three classes: Hepaticopsida, Anthoceropsida and Bryopsida. Three classes are there under Bryophyta: Hepaticopsida, Anthoceropsida and Bryopsida. Okay, Hepaticopsida, Anthoceropsida, Bryopsida. These are three classes of bryophytes where you find these gamma cups, asexually produced cups. You know, later these asexual buds, these cups will detach, it will break, and these cups will fall, okay, on the soil surface. When it falls on suitable substratum, that is required soil, which is wet, which is required for growth of bryophytes, then these asexual buds, gamma or gemme, okay, it produces a new plant. So it is asexual bud produced, okay, asexual bud produced. Asexual bud is called gemme or gemma. It is produced in bryophytes. Okay, there are three classes under bryophytes where it is gamma are most common in Hepaticopsida. Okay, then less in Anthoceropsida, then very least in Bryopsida. So more of these gamma cups you find in class Hepaticopsida. And Anthoceropsida, it is lesser extent. very less number of organisms under class Anthoceropsida have gamma cups, and Bryopsida is least. Okay, one or two members of these classes you find this, you find these gamma cups. Okay, later these gamma cups will fall on the soil surface and it develops a new plant. Okay, what about the next method? This method is there in sponges, that is phylum Porifera members. Okay, first phylum Porifera members are called sponges, you know. Okay, sponges under unfavorable conditions, when condition is not suitable, under unfavorable conditions, sponges, that is members of phylum Porifera, produces a cup-like structure. That cup-like structure is called gemmule. This gemmule is produced just to escape from unfavorable conditions. ಅಂದರೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾತಾವರಣದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್, then it will change its type of reproduction to cup-like, vessel-like structure, that is called gemmule. Usually gemmule will be like a flask-like structure like this. This is there in the textbook, you can see. It's a flask-like structure produced. Okay, and you know the sharp structures will be there, which is the exoskeleton of Porifera, that is called spicules. You know, skeleton is present outside the body. These are called spicules. Spicules are nowhere related to reproduction. This is just a skeleton support. Then inside it produces hundreds of cells. These are nothing but buds. Okay, it is filled with special type of buds. These buds are meant for asexual reproduction. You fill this. Okay, I will not waste time in filling all this. These cells are also called as histoblast cells. Okay, or also called as archaeocytes. The speciality is, and the vessel will have a mouth. You know, this mouth is called micropyle. You know the meaning. Micro means small, pile means opening present. Okay, small opening present there. So all these buds, when condition becomes favorable, andre environmental conditions, when it is not suitable, then all the buds will remain inside the flask. When condition becomes favorable, then this micropyle opens, then all the asexual buds will come out. All these buds, each bud becomes entire plant. Okay, each bud becomes entire new organism. That means, suppose here 150 buds are there, that means 150 new organisms will be produced. Okay, so new offsprings will be produced. So that is a capacity, and gemmules will be produced in sponges, not in all the conditions. When condition is not suitable, when environmental conditions are not suitable, it is unfavorable conditions, then only it produces a flask-like structure. Okay, so this is, no need to write, this is outer wall, this is inner wall, this is silly, nowhere required for neat. Okay, so this is a type of one type of asexual reproduction found in sponges, members of phylum Porifera, under unfavorable conditions. So these are the different methods of asexual method of reproduction, okay, in different organisms. Before we go to sexual method of reproduction, let us see in plants, asexual method is only called as vegetative propagation. Let us see what all types of vegetative propagation or vegetative type of reproduction is there. Okay, so asexual method and vegetative method is same, but word asexual is used for animals. We discussed in last class in detail. Asexual word is used for animals, but in case of plants we use that word vegetative. There are only two types of reproduction, sexual and asexual. Then what is vegetative? Vegetative method is a type of asexual method only. In animals we call it as asexual, and in plants we call it as vegetative. Why it is called like that, we have discussed in last class. Do you remember? Except our reproductive organs, testis in male and ovaries in female, these are gonads or reproductive organs meant for sexual reproduction. Other than testis and ovary in male and female, remaining body parts like hands, legs, head, neck, all these are what? They don't do any type of reproduction. Okay, so then we cannot call these remaining body parts like hands, legs and all as vegetative parts. Vegetative parts we use that word for plant source, plant origin. In case of plants, again sexual reproduction is there. Flower is a sexually reproducible part, you know. Sexually reproductive part is flower, because flower contains androecium, which is male part, male reproductive part, and gynoecium is female reproductive part. Other than the flower, remaining parts are what? Stem, leaves, roots. If these parts produce new plant, then that type of reproduction is called vegetative propagation or vegetative method of reproduction. Okay, so what these parts are called as? These parts are called as vegetative propagules. We will discuss in detail now about vegetative method of reproduction. Correct word is not vegetative method of reproduction, it is called vegetative propagation. What is meaning of the word propagation? I am showing, see, propagation means multiplying. You think this chalk, okay, I am holding, this is a part of root, okay, one small part of root of the plant. Okay, if this root produces new plant, okay, then it is vegetative method of reproduction. Because other than the flower ಅನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಉಳಿದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಿಡದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾಗಗಳಿಗೆ, except flower, remaining parts of the plants are called vegetative parts. Okay, like leaves, stem, roots. So suppose this is root and root produces new plant, then it is vegetative propagation by root. If this is stem, okay, part of stem, if this stem produces new plant, then it is vegetative propagation by stem. Okay, propagation means by using one stem you can produce thousands of plants, you can produce millions of plants. So by using one stem you produce millions of thousands of plants, then it is propagation, means, you know, multiplying number of plants. Okay, then if it is a part of leaf and leaf produces new plant, then it is vegetative propagation by leaf. Okay, so then what is that part of the plant which produces new plant should be called as? It is called as vegetative propagule. Okay, vegetative propagule. Simple. Which part of the plant produces new plant, that part is called vegetative propagule. ಅಂದರೆ ಗಿಡದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿನ ಯಾವ ಭಾಗದಿಂದ ಹೊಸ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಆ ಭಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಪಗ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಪಗ್ಯೂಲ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಸಪೋಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ನೌ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ vegetative propagule is stem. Okay, then new plant is produced by root, then vegetative propagule is root. New plant is produced by leaf, then vegetative propagule is leaf. So vegetative propagule means part of the plant, andre plant na ಒಂದು ಭಾಗ, part of the plant which produces new plant is called vegetative propagule. Okay, so based on which part of the plant produces new plant, there are three types of vegetative propagation. Before we go to that, mainly there are two types of vegetative propagation. Okay, what are those? Natural vegetative propagation, other one is artificial or man-made vegetative propagation. Okay, natural means, you know, human beings interference is not there. We don't interfere with the function of the plant. We don't touch the plant. Naturally, leaf produces entire plant, stem produces entire plant, then root produces new plant without human beings touching that. That means human beings interference is not there. We don't interfere in plant. Then naturally these parts, stem, root, leaves produce new plant. Then it is natural vegetative propagation. Suppose if human beings forcefully do artificial reproduction, then it is artificial type of reproduction. Again, under natural type of vegetative propagation, there are three types based on which part of the plant produces new plant. That is simple vegetative propagation by root. Okay, then vegetative propagation by stem. And third, vegetative propagation by leaf. Okay, so vegetative propagation by root, which is, what is a vegetative propagule there? Root is a propagule. Okay, vegetative propagation by stem, what is a vegetative propagule? Stem is a propagule. Then vegetative reproduction propagation by leaf. Then vegetative propagule. Propagule means part of the plant which produces new plant. Here leaf produces new plant, so vegetative propagule is leaf. So based on which is a vegetative propagule, which part of the plant produces new plant, based on that there are three types of natural vegetative propagation. That is vegetative propagation by root, vegetative propagation by stem, vegetative propagation by leaf. Okay, then artificial, there are again three methods. That is cutting. Cutting means stem should be cut into pieces, many pieces. That we will learn later in detail, okay, one by one. Cutting, then layering. What is layering? I'll tell you later. Okay, layering and grafting. These are all man-made or artificial vegetative propagation. Forcefully we do this propagation. Human beings do this propagation. Okay, so under natural method, one by one in detail we will learn. First one, vegetative propagation by root, then vegetative propagation by stem, then vegetative propagation by leaf. Then we will go to artificial method. Yeah, so this chalk. Okay, first one we will see vegetative propagation by root, where root is a vegetative propagule which produces new plants. Okay, I'll write short form, vegetative propagation by root. So you find these kind of vegetative propagation in sweet potato. Okay, actual pronunciation is potato. Don't laugh, huh? Correct English pronunciation is potato, but we say potato in India. Okay, sweet potato. Then what is that? A dahlia, or you say dahlia, no? Dahlia flower, a red color flower is produced. Okay, beautiful flower, dahlia flower. Okay, then these are vegetative propagation by root in plants. Okay, then what about other plants? I think you have heard that plant called asparagus. You know, some Ayurvedic medicines are also produced by asparagus. Okay, asparagus roots. All these, like sweet potato. Sweet potato itself is root. What we eat, that sweet potato is root. Then sweet potato, if you cut into many parts, okay, and you sow it in soil, ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಸ್ವೀಟ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಟೋನ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತುಂಬ ಪೀಸಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ಅ ನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊಪಗೇಷನ್ ಬೈ ರೂಟ್. ಇವನ್ ಡೇಲಿಯಾ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ asparagus roots also, if you cut and sow it in soil, but you should take care, half part should be exposed to air and half should be in soil. The part which is there in soil becomes root, part which is exposed to air becomes shoot. Okay, so this is a type of propagation by root. Then vegetative propagation by leaf. Vegetative propagation by leaf, where you find a special plant that is called bryophyllum. You know, I think you might have heard bryophyllum. ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಕಮಲ, ನೋ, ರಾತ್ ಕಿ ರಾಣಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ನೋ ಇಟ್ ಬ್ಲೂಮ್ಸ್ ಅಟ್ ನೈಟ್, ಅಂದರೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಅರಳುತ್ತದೆ ಆ ಹೂವು. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈಟ್ ಕಲರ್, ವೆರಿ ಬಿಗ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ you know it closes itself. Okay, so it is called bryophyllum, brahma kamala, you know, in Kannada. Bryophyllum is a genus, it's a scientific name. Okay, bryophyllum plant produces then kalanchoe plant, kalanchoe leaves, vegetative propagation by leaf. Then some injured leaves of begonia plant. Okay, all these leaf produces entire plant. Let us take example of bryophyllum, where in usually bryophyllum leaves will be like this. It will have notches. Notches means, you know, deepenings. Okay, so in the deepenings, okay, here it produces small leaf like structure, sometimes single, sometimes it will be like a small branch with 2-3 leaves. Okay, like this. Where it produces in a notches. Notches means, you know, wherever the surface of leaf has gone inside, okay, there is deep cleavage, in that area it produces small leaf like structures, that is called adventitious buds. Adventitious buds they are called. Okay, so these adventitious buds, later it will break, it will detach, and it will fall on the soil. When it falls on the soil surface, then it produces a new plant. So new plant is produced by part of leaf, then it becomes vegetative propagation by leaf, that is in bryophyllum, in leaves of kalanchoe. Then some injured leaves, suppose one leaf of begonia, okay, is injured with a stone, okay, then a part which is injured, which can produce new plant. Okay, when it touches the soil, it should get all suitable conditions for growth, only then it will grow. If you simply throw adventitious bud on the tiles or granite, okay, it doesn't produce new plant, because soil is required, water is required, sunlight is required, you know, carbon dioxide is required, oxygen is required. All these carbon dioxide is required for photosynthesis, oxygen is required for breathing or respiration in plants. So all these conditions are required, then only it produces new plant. Okay, so do you know the word adventitious means? Adventitious means usually other than normal method means usually buds will be produced where? Buds will be produced, that is called as flower buds, you know, ನಾವು ಹೂವಿನ ಎಂತ ಮೊಗ್ಗು ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ, okay, flower buds. Later it becomes a flower, but these buds will not become a flower, it will not bloom and become flower. Okay, these buds will become a new plant. Other than the natural method, if by different method bud is produced, then that word is used adventitious. For example, adventitious roots are there, you know. According to your knowledge, where roots grow? Under the soil surface, isn't it? Underground. Andre bhumi olagirtade root. Sometimes it is produced on the stem. Okay, like this. See, suppose this is stem, okay, and you think this is soil surface, roots are there inside, okay. What about if roots are produced here? Roots are produced by the part other than the roots. ಅಂದರೆ ರೂಟ್ ಬೆಳೆಯೋ ಜಾಗ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ರೂಟ್ ಬೆಳೆದ್ರೆ then it is adventitious root. So here this is not flower bud, this is not flower bud, okay, this is adventitious bud which produces new plant from the leaf. It is produced by the leaf, that is why it is called adventitious buds. Okay, so this is vegetative propagation by leaf. Then let us see vegetative propagation by stem, which is very big. Under that subtypes are there, which we will see, which is very important for NEET, even for your theory part also. For the synopsis means what we are discussing now, theory part of NEET or CET. Only textbook is not enough, okay, textbook is just a skeleton, but only with skeleton you cannot survive. With the skeleton you need blood vessels, then all the organs, then skin is required, muscles are required. So like that, textbook is required, you have to read textbook word by word. And you know, for theory part also, cultivate the habit of reading textbook. You should know every word in the textbook, in every chapter. Don't depend on notes, okay. If suppose there are mistakes in notes, then you read same thing. You forget that habit of reading notes. Don't depend on any notes, okay. Don't ask notes also with anyone. You read textbook and understand the concept. You should depend only on textbook, okay. If you read only notes, then why textbook is printed, okay. Textbook is given by a PU board, why? To read only. Then if you are depending on some notes given by other other books or internet, that is not trustworthy. So you should depend only on textbook, because in the final exam also they ask you questions based on what is there in the textbook, not from the notes, okay. So please don't ask notes, okay. And even in theory part also, you have seen me, I usually write every point, every word which is there in the textbook on the board. So same thing what I write on the board, if you note down also, it becomes a very good notes. But my suggestion is don't read notes, okay. So please read textbook, okay. We cannot waste time here. Next, vegetative propagation by stem. Vegetative propagation by stem. Under this there are different types, like subaerial stem, then underground stem, okay. So different subtypes are there, which we are going to learn now, okay. So that is vegetative propagation by stem. First one we will see vegetative propagation by underground stem. Underground stem means which is there in the soil, under the soil, okay, below the soil surface. That is, we see colocasia, then potato, then onion, garlic, all these comes under these methods, okay. Then onion, garlic, even though it is underground, onion what we eat, that is not root, it is a stem what we eat. Root, have you seen root in onion? If suppose this is onion, okay, usually it will have a disc like structure and it produces a hair like structure here, these hair like structures are roots, And what we eat, this bulb like structure, this is a stem. And here in the stem, modification of stem is called by different names. Each modification has name. Okay, what is that name we will see. Like onion, it is called bulb. Onion, then garlic. The shape of the stem, it is bulbous structure, so it is called bulb. Okay, so let us see some examples like colocasia. ನೀವು ಕೆಸುವಿನ ಸೊಪ್ಪು ಅಂತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಪತ್ರೊಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕೊಲೊಕೇಸಿಯಾ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಕ್ರೋಕಸ್, a round structure like this. Like this. Okay, so all these are underground stem. Okay, even potato also is considered as underground only, you know that. Potato. In potato you find sometimes the white color small areas, some cut marks will be there, like scar mark, on that scar mark, if you allow that potato to remain like that, okay, then some white spots will be produced, like white buds will be produced. Then that white becomes green, then what you should do, that white color part, small part, if you break and put them in soil, then it produces new plant. Okay, so it is vegetative propagation by stem. But in potato, what that, suppose this is potato, okay, potato, then some scar marks will be there like this, then it produces small white structures like this. These are called eye buds. Later, if you remove these eye buds, okay, and sow it in soil, it produces new plant. So vegetative propagation by eye buds, that is produced by the stem, so it is underground stem, vegetative propagation by underground stem. Then let us see vegetative propagation by subaerial stems. But before that, ginger also. Ginger is also stem. Ginger, what we eat, what we use, that is a stem. Then what is root in ginger? On ginger, some small hair-like structures will be there. That hair-like structure is a root. Then ginger, what we eat, that is underground, that is stem. So ginger, very simple method. Ginger only you cut into pieces, and that piece you sow it in soil, then it becomes a new plant. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಅದು ಶುಂಠಿನ ನಾವು ಪೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುರಿದು ಅದನ್ನು ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ ಹೊಸ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊಪಗೇಷನ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್. ದೆನ್ ದ modification of stem for vegetative propagation in ginger is called rhizome. Remember, modification is called rhizome, ginger. Then potato, it is called tuber. Potato is called tuber, modification. Okay, onion and garlic is called bulb. So these are all underground stem modifications. Now let us see subaerial stem modification. Subaerial stem modification. Sub means just above or just below, just exposed to air. Some parts will be in soil, some parts will be exposed to air. Which is that part, that subaerial stem that we should see? That is colocasia. Is modification is called stolon. modification is called stolon. Then Eichhornia is a plant which is, you have learnt in first chapter. Eichhornia is called scourge of water bodies. Then you can't eliminate these plants. All that you have learnt, isn't it? Beautiful plant which grows on the surface of soil. Okay, it is called terror of Bengal also. You have learnt in first chapter, second year, first chapter. Eichhornia modification is called offset. Offset. Okay. Then strawberry modification is called runner. Runner. Why it is called runner? Because stem runs on the surface of soils. Suppose this is a soil surface, okay? One stem is there, then it produces a plant here. Then stem grows and again produces a plant, and it grows and produces a plant. Like that, one plant you try to grow, strawberry, okay, in one land, piece of land, then whole area will be occupied by strawberry only, because it grows that fast. It grows on the surface, parallel to the soil surface. Okay, ಅಂದರೆ ಮಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಸಮಾನಾಂತರವಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೀತದೆ. Okay, parallel. That is why it is called, it runs on the soil, so it is called runner. Okay, chalk is not there. Sorry. Then sometimes strawberry will be stolon also. Then grass is also runner only. Grass which runs on the surface of soil, it is also runner only. Sometimes strawberry is considered as stolon. Okay. Then colocasia is also stolon. Then what about other examples? Pistia. Then what is pistia? Pistia is a plant which grows in water, same like Eichhornia, so it should be offset. These are all subaerial. Subaerial means half exposed to air, lower part is in water, okay, or in soil. Then it is subaerial stem, not completely underground, not completely covered by the soil. Roots are in the soil, upper part is exposed to air, so it is subaerial. Like we say, no, inspector, below that sub-inspector, like that. Okay, so these are all subaerial stems, example. Okay, then what about aerial shoots? Aerial shoots like Opuntia and cactus, they produce new plants after falling on the ground. They produce new plant after falling on the ground. That is cactus, you know, cactus, Opuntia. Now kalli gida antiyala, papa's kalli. Okay, cactus, it is called Opuntia plant. You know, it will be like this. It has spines. Or thorns. Okay, where leaves are modified into thorns. Stem is green in color, which does photosynthesis. So in cactus and all, a part cuts and falls on the soil and becomes a new plant. So these are called aerial shoots. Produces a new plant. Okay, so then there are special modifications in plants like oxalis, agave, discoria. In all these plants, fleshy bulb or buds will be produced, where near the base of leaves, it is called bulbils. It's a modification. Like you think these are leaves, okay. Suppose these are leaves. At the base of these leaves, one bulb like structure is produced like this. These are fleshy buds produced near the base of leaves. These are called bulbils. Bulbils will be produced in plants like Discoria, then oxalis, then agave, we call it as agave, fleshy leaves. Fleshy leaf means, if you cut the leaf, water oozes out. ಅಂದರೆ ಲೀಫ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀರಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಫ್ಲೆಶಿ ಲೀವ್ಸ್. Okay, water filled leaves. These are all having bulbils. These bulbil, this round structure, when it falls on the soil, it becomes a new plant. So that is why we are saying it is a bulbils. Then these cactus opuntia and all are aerial shoots. Like one part of the shoot breaks and falls on the soil and becomes a new plant. So these are all modifications of stem what we see. Okay, so with this, a vegetative propagation by natural method we finish. Next we have to learn vegetative propagation by artificial method, that we will learn in next class. But before we go to that, let us see some questions, okay, neat questions, and let us see whether these questions are related to this asexual method, vegetative method or not. Let us see. Okay. So see these questions. Okay, I hope you can read this. I think now it is clear. Okay, so let us see. Okay, so asexual reproduction in fungi or fungus takes place by, see, very important thing I'll tell you, when you don't have to guess any answers here. You should be very sure about the answers in NEET. Okay, like when you decide out of 4 options one answer is correct, then you have to justify, you should give reason why remaining 3 options are wrong. Okay, that also you have to mark, like identify human being out of these 4. Okay, that is donkey, cat, rat, then myself. Remaining all are, they don't have characters of human beings. So you say that based on that character these 3 are wrong, then I am a human being because I have all human characters. So like that, when you say that one answer is correct, remaining 3 why it is wrong also you have to justify. Okay, always. And in NEET, when you immediately read the question, don't come to conclusion. Okay, you have to read the question twice. Second time when you read the question, then you will get clear idea what is that question is about. Every word you have to understand. Anyway, I gave you this valuable suggestion. Asexual reproduction in fungi or fungus takes place by options: endospore, gametangia, exospores and conidiospore. We have taken example in last class, that is penicillium produces exogenously produced spores one over the other, that is called conidiospores. Okay, penicillium belongs to which class of fungi? Do you remember? Penicillium belongs to ascomycetes, isn't it? So it is conidiospore. Option D should be correct. Then vegetative propagation in pistia occurs by, just now we learnt pistia occurs by stolon, offset, runner, sucker. Sucker example we didn't take only. Sucker, mint, mint leaves, they are sucker. Okay, then banana is also sucker, the stem what it grows, that is also sucker. Okay, so pistia, it is offset because it is aquatic. Eichhornia and pistia, all these are offset, half part exposed to air and half are in water. So it is subaerial stem, that is offset, option B. Then vegetative propagation by leaves is seen in Murraya species, Bryophyllum, Albigia, then Dalbergia. Just now we have learnt, that is Bryophyllum species, Brahmakamala, Okay, it produces adventitious buds. Later it detaches and falls on the soil and becomes a new plant. So it should be option B, Bryophyllum. Then a clone is a group of genetically similar organisms produced through asexual reproduction. This question you have written for test, biology test we had asked. Clone means morphologically and genetically similar organisms. So option A, a group of genetically similar organisms produced through asexual reproduction. A group of genetically similar organisms produced through sexual reproduction. Group of genetically dissimilar organisms cannot be correct. Group of genetically dissimilar organisms cannot be correct. So option C and D is wrong because they said dissimilar, because we know clone means it should be similar. So it should be option A, group of genetically similar organisms produced by asexual reproduction. Okay. Then match list 1 with list 2 and select the correct option. Okay, option A, gemmules, leaf buds, bulbil, offset, conidia on left side, and this side list 2, agave, penicillium, water hyacinth, Eichhornia is called water hyacinth, you have learnt in first chapter, sponges, Bryophyllum. So can you match? Gemmules are present in sponges under unfavorable condition, it produces gemmules. Then leaf buds are there in Bryophyllum, adventitious buds. Then bulbil is present in agave, just now we learnt in detail. Then offset is present in water hyacinth or Eichhornia. Then conidia is present in penicillium. So it should be option A. Okay, option A with this. Then let us see next page. Okay, is this question related? Life cycle, this belongs to third chapter. I think in theory you have not learned this chapter till now. So let us not discuss question number 6. After finishing the chapter we will discuss. Question number 7, this is already we have discussed. Anyway, we will discuss again. Dash is a life process that is not essential for an individual survival but survival of the species. What is required? For surviving, these are not required, but it is required for continuing the generation. Okay. Exceptional cases are there. There are some organisms without reproduction. They don't have reproduction only. They don't have reproduction at all, but they survive. Okay. Suppose a person doesn't get married in his life. Don't you think he can survive? He can survive. Okay. Marriage or this reproduction is required for continuing the generation, not for living or not for survival. So it should be option B, reproduction. Okay. Which one of the following is correctly matched? Onion, bulb, ginger, sucker, Chlamydomonas, conidia, yeast, zoospore. Definitely option A, onion or onion bulb. Then banana is vegetatively propagated by, just now we discussed, banana is sucker also, it is rhizome also. Usually banana it belongs to rhizome. Ginger is also rhizome, then banana is also rhizome. So it should be rhizome, option B. Okay. Find out the correct order of vegetative propagation of plants like potato, ginger, agave, Bryophyllum and water hyacinth. What is the correct order? Offset, bulbil, leaf bud, rhizome and ice. Leaf bud, bulbil, offset, rhizome and ice. Ice, rhizome, bulbil, leaf bud and offset. Rhizome, bulbil, leaf bud, ice and offset. It should be option C. Ice, then rhizome, then bulbil, then leaf bud, then offset. It is a correct order of vegetative propagation. Okay. Okay, because it is based on which type comes first. Root, then stem, under that subaerial stem, then underground stem, then comes remaining. So it should be option C. That is ice, rhizome, ice means eye buds of potato. Rhizome, bulbil, leaf bud and offset. Okay. So remaining part of artificial method of vegetative propagation, then sexual method. So it may take another 2-3 classes for finishing this. And the last class, don't miss, because I will discuss repeated NEET questions. Till now they have asked from this chapter how many types of questions they have asked in NEET. Okay, that we will discuss at last. With the which year it is asked, for which exam it is asked, also we will discuss, because NEET has come nowadays. Okay, earlier that exam was not called NEET, it was called AIPMT, All India Pre-Medical Test. Okay, for MBBS and for dental and all. Later it is renamed as NEET. Okay, so, and some other institutions used to conduct separate entrance exams other than AIPMT. Okay, so how they have asked questions, repeated questions of NEET 2017, 18, 19 and all, how they have asked on this chapter, we will discuss in the last class. Okay, I hope we have discussed lot of things. I gave you lot of information. Okay, keep watching my classes. Thank you.